Hey everyone, Steve here from My Crypto World. Today we're going to have a look at the market cycles, see where things are going for the Bitcoins as well as all the alternate coins, and we're going to have a look at some on-chain analysis relating to Bitcoin. Okay, so we take a look at the total market cap. We can see that the market has risen quite nicely over the last 7 days. Actually, if we measure that as far as percentage term goes, we can see the market's actually risen 23.8% over the last 7 days. So that's not bad at all. We really haven't gone through much more of a dip. It's sort of hit this, it's hit the $870 billion market cap amount, which is a small resistance level in the history of things, and it has moved up from there. Now, it has broken past that. I think what it might be doing here is what's known as a springboard effect, where it breaks through a major resistance level or minor resistance level and then shoots out from that, which it appears at this point in time anyway that that's what it's doing. When we have a look at the rest of the market cap though, if we go down and have a look at Cardano, we have a look at Bitcoin Cash, you can see that everything's just floating nicely along the lines that we spoke about. Bitcoin itself, very similar, broke through the $20,000 mark and has bounced and springboarded straight through that again, and is now heading upwards. And that is up probably about the same, I would say, about 20-something% over the last, 23% over the last, say, 7 days. Polkadot, the same. No change there, still above its resistance line of $6.83. IOTA, no change. You'll find also that for many of the alternate coins, the charts look like they've duplicated. The charts look the same after one coin after the other. That's not uncommon when you've got a brand new market. Chainlink, again, bouncing nicely along its resistance line of $5.82. Mana has come up a lot. It bounced up, broke through its previous resistance line of $1.13 and has come back down and still trading underneath that at the moment. Sandbox looking pretty healthy actually. It will have a resistance at $1.50. It's now $1.58. It is currently $1.26. So there's probably about another 20 to 30 cent move there before it finds some resistance along this line here. Before hopefully breaking through to the upside there. Shiba Inu, no change at the moment. Solana, now I said in my last video that Solana still has not hit its bottom yet, its major resistance bottom, which is at $19.90. It reversed last week and came back up. I'm not too sure whether that whether it's going to continue in that direction or have another down moment where it needs to bottom out and find that resistance line there. If it does continue to go up, then its next major resistance line is going to be at around about the $80 mark. Solana, no change there. T-Drop, no change. Theta's moved up nicely, however, it is trading in a band here, so you can see you've got it trading between these two resistance lines here. So it's channel trading at the moment, pretty much moving sideways between the, what's that, about $1.60 and about $1 mark, something like that. Now at the moment on today's bar, we can see that it's actually traded above that, but it really needs to close above that for it to be in positive territory again. Otherwise it's likely it could continue to move sideways for a little bit longer yet. Wax, no change there. We spoke about the volatility of Wax last time due to the fact that it doesn't seem to have a great deal of volume at the moment. The volume's really dried up on Wax, so that may take a little while for it to find its own pace again within the market. And Zilliqa, really strong with Zilliqa. Let's have a measure of that one. So since the bottom, which happened about a week ago, we are up 75%, or thereabouts. What's that? 73% perhaps. So not a bad week for Zilliqa at all. Now, one thing I wanted to touch base on was with Bitcoin Cash. Now, I'm often asked which coins am I looking at. The truth is I look at pretty much anyone who's been following me for a while knows the portfolio that I follow. I do look at other coins from time to time, but strategically and just through sheer not enough time in my daily life, I tend to stick to the ones that I've already focused on and looked at. One of those is Bitcoin Cash, and Bitcoin Cash has copped a bit of slack in the past because it hasn't performed as well as it should be. Even though the adoption of Bitcoin Cash is actually quite strong, certainly through the United States. Here in Australia, there are some businesses now adopting to Bitcoin Cash payments, and I'm sure that will continue globally as the coin makes its mark. Now, one thing I wanted to do, I normally look at a daily chart for most of my analysis to see where things are going, but if you really want a stronger indication of where a coin is going, the weekly charts and the weekly indicators are always going to give you a better result of where things are for the longer term. So daily is great for short term, weekly and monthly are really the go-to for longer term analysis. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Bitcoin Cash is it's done something on the weekly chart that it's never done before. Down the bottom here, you'll see I always have an RSI up for view on my chart. So the RSI is a relative strength indicator, and really what you want to do is you're looking at the band between 70 and 30, and anytime Bitcoin Cash breaks above 70, or any crypto for that matter, it tends to indicate that there's overbuying, which means it might be overpriced for the current market conditions. Now, Bitcoin Cash has not, as far as I'm aware, and based on the charts that I'm looking at, ever had an indicator showing that it is breaking below that until now. Even way back here in December 2018, Bitcoin Cash was trading at its lowest point, and even then you can see the RSI is still within the band, so it showed that it still hadn't been oversold yet. Now, what overselling means is that it's an incredibly good buying indicator. Now, this is not financial advice, but it's my financial opinion that when things fall below the range of 30 on the RSI, that it could be a very good buying opportunity. And for the first time in its history, not only has Bitcoin Cash fallen below the 30, you can see here we are well below it. It's also starting to flatten out. Now, when an RSI goes below that and then flattens before it goes back up, that's an incredibly strong sign that the bottom may be either over or near. Again, my financial opinion only. So when I'm looking at coins, I will often refer to the RSI to confirm what my other analysis might show me and what I believe is going on in the news around the world regarding a certain crypto or a certain portfolio or a certain stock if I happen to be trading the stock market as well. So that's a really good sign to see that. I haven't seen it before, so I guess you know what I'm buying this week. A little bit more Bitcoin Cash to add to my portfolio and to see where that goes. Now, remembering that Bitcoin Cash's all-time high was when it first launched, not too far after it first launched, so back in December 2017, it hit a high of $4,300, so $4,300 per coin. So we're a long way off from that at the moment, but it doesn't mean to say that over time it's not going to slowly get back there now. And to be honest with you, at $115 per token, I think that represents pretty good buying power. Now, I got a message during the week regarding the total market cap, and we'll just change that back to a daily chart. Wondering, the question was relating to, does the crypto market follow the standard S&P or the NASDAQ and other indices and exchanges around the world? Look, most of them do. If we go to the S&P 500 now, you can see that the S&P 500 had a high of 4,818 and dropped all the way back down to 3,600. So it had a loss or a drop. Where's my measure tool? It had a drop of negative, it's just under 25%, so it's 24.73%. Which now our market has gone further than that. However, when you look at the drop that it's had and then you compare that to the current market total cap, it is very, very similar in the sense that the more volatile markets tend to move first when a market collapses, and then the larger, more stable markets tend to follow afterwards. But it doesn't mean that it's not driven from the S&P 500. It certainly could have been, but other markets will, the smaller market caps will tend to fall first. So yes, it is in a roundabout way related to the S&P 500. If people who are invested heavily in the S&P 500 have diversified their portfolios and they also own crypto, knowing that crypto is more of a risque investment, it's not as well known, it's not as well regulated, it's likely that they would pull their funds from the crypto market first before then adjusting their portfolios in the S&P 500 or any individual stocks that they currently own. Now, a couple of news articles to finish off with. I just want to bring these two to your attention. This one was on the Daily Hodl, and it suggests that an on-chain indicator suggests that Bitcoin bottom is near, with a fresh accumulation phase underway. Crypto analyst Benjamin Cohen says one on-chain indicator suggests that Bitcoin could be on the verge of entering an accumulation phase. The real value score, which is the MVRV score, so that's market value to realized value, has given it a strong indication. The point is, once it gets below, say, 0, you could argue that in fact it's been reset. Once it goes below 0, we usually find some type of a market cycle bottom and we go into an accumulation phase and we gear up for the next bull run. You can see recently that the MVRVZ score in fact did go below 0, but you can also see if you zoom in that it's not necessarily at the bottom yet. We'll have a look at that in a moment. And the next article relating to Bitcoin says that Bitcoin could stay below the peak for the next 2 years. So in a sense saying that Bitcoin might take 2 years, let's go back to Bitcoin, to get back to its market cycle high, which was at $69,000. Now that's not a bad thing at all. If it takes 2 years to get back to $69,000 and I'm riding that entire wave up, then I'm a very happy investor, that's for sure. So the article goes on to say the boss of one of the world's most popular cryptocurrency platforms has predicted that Bitcoin will not surpass its all-time high for at least another 2 years. Despite the hard times being felt by crypto traders, CZ Zhao, the founder and chief executive of Binance, said that anyone who invested in the digital assets just 4 years ago would still be very happy with their return, and that is absolutely true. This is where the market sentiment comes in, because you've got people who have been in the market longer than 4 years, and even though we've gone through a massive market dip at the moment, like my portfolio is still up. Even though I've lost money, I'm still in positive territory, and so are hundreds of other, and thousands, tens of thousands of people around the globe. It's the people who got in near the top, and you never know where the top's going to be, so it's very hard to predict. But people who might have bought in near the top are feeling a bit of pain at the moment, and still it's just better to wait for the next bull run, hold out rather than sell out. He said it was normal for Bitcoin to fluctuate as it has. If you look at the bottom of Bitcoin right now, it's higher than its last peak. So whether normal or not, I think the industry is still definitely growing. Fluctuations in price is normal, he said. That said, Mr. Hamad believes that some of the most prominent digital tokens like Bitcoin and Ethereum will survive this winter. But as far as an asset class is concerned, we think crypto is here to stay, he told the publication. There is going to be an evolution of the players and the protocols in the market, which is what we all are waiting for. We need a clean out, we need some stability in the market, and we need a little bit of, despite everyone disagreeing with me, I think we need a little bit of regulation to sort of help strategize and grow this cowboy market. Anyway, that's it from us today. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you think the content is worthy. It really helps my YouTube channel grow. And we'll be back in a couple of days with a few news articles regarding Cardano. Until then, take care. See ya.